Hi, welcome to my video. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by playing three chords and just listen to the sound of these. So these are common chords, A minor 7. So the common fingering most people know. So if you listen to that, and then if I do another common fingering, even though it's on different strings and different positions, they sound very similar, which isn't surprising because they're both A minor 7s. But now I'm going to play this one, which all I'm doing is I'm covering up this G and putting it up an octave, and I'm not playing the bass note on the A, so it's an inversion. That sounds less similar to that first one than what that other one did. So I'm going to explain why that is. I'm going to go over some application things so that even if you don't own this book, hopefully you'll learn something from it, this video. Now, let me make clear, this video is not sponsored. I'm not getting paid anything for saying this book. It's just one I like. And on that same track, if you can subscribe, I'm not monetized, so I don't make any money off this until I get more subscribers. Or if you want to donate to a Patreon account, I have one listed in the comments. But let's go and jump into this. So the reason I like this book, and I mentioned this in one other one in passing, it's Mel Bay's Deluxe Encyclopedia of Guitar Chords by William Bay. It was copyrighted from 1971, so it's not a new book. It's been around a long time. It's not as comprehensive as far as the number of chords it has. It basically has, if you look at here, 27 different types of chords, ranging from basic major down to a C13, flat 9, flat 5. But it doesn't have some of the common ones, like you'll see on here there's a 7 sus4, but it doesn't have a sus4 triad. It's got diminished 7, but it doesn't have a minor flat 5 triad. So it leaves off, it's not really some of the basic ones, it's not really, I would say, aimed at beginners. But the strength of it is the information it does cover. It covers in way more details. There's no real explanation though. The extent of the writing in this book is this little section right here. Other than that, it just jumps right into chords. Now, these chords, what I like about it though, and I'll go ahead and jump into showing you what it is and then explaining what all this stuff means. It breaks the chords into 4 different sections, what it calls melody chords, here I'll go show up here, inside chords, rhythm chords, and bottom 4 string chords. As you can see, it shows quite a big examples for most of these chords. A lot of them are 10, 15, 17, 18 fingerings, so it gives you a lot of options. But by breaking it into those 4 groups, it makes it a little bit more manageable. As far as when you're looking for a shape quick, you can find it easier. It also shows, which is nice, it's written both in chord box, but also shows it up here in the standard music. And it also shows, if you notice, the names of the notes. And then on the other side, over here, let me zoom into that, it shows the chord formula. So in this case, root, 3rd, 5th, 7th. Now, if you know your chord formulas, you might think, well, that's not right. This dominant 7 chord has a flat 7. That's one thing I don't really like on this. It calls instead of calling a major 7 a 7, a dominant, or minor 7 a flat 7, and diminished a double flat, it calls the major 7 a major 7, the dominant and minor just a 7, and the diminished just a flat 7. So you have to be careful on that. If you know your chord theory, it might throw you off a little bit. But what I do like about this is, again, all the information it gives. One thing, like what I talked about earlier on it, why chords sound different. If you notice the chords it's playing on the chord boxes, it tells you, see the bass note there, that the root is the lowest note. But then it also tells you the 5th is the highest note. And then the next fingering, it's got fingering where the 5th is the lowest note, so it's another inversion. And the 7th is highest. Then the 7th is the lowest, and the root is the highest. Root lowest, and then flat 3rd is the highest, and the last one is a flat 3rd is the lowest. So it actually tries to, in each section, show all the different inversions, meaning starting on each one of the notes as the lowest note, rather than just showing 4 root position fingerings. And then it also tries to show each different higher note. So you'd have, like in this A minor 7, the formula is a root, flat 3rd, 5th, and flat 7. So you'd have a fingering for each position with it in the higher note also. So you'd have one with the root the highest, the fifth the highest, etc. So in that earlier example, why this chord sounds similar to this chord is they both start on the root and they end on the fifth. While if I go down to this fingering and leave off the A note, then my first note's the E, and if I add the G, then my last note's the seven, the flat 7 or 7. So that's why that one sounds different. So then as I go up through different possibilities, if I play this one, I've got the 7th as my lowest and the 5th as my highest. If I go with this fingering, I've got my root again, but then I've got my flat 3. And if I go this one, the flat 3 is the lowest and the root, 5th is the highest. So if you notice, all those are on the higher strings. And that's what they consider melody chords. So the way they're breaking these down, and they say in the beginning, just because it's listed as a melody chord or a rhythm chord doesn't mean in function they can't be switched around, but they're trying to say what their more common usage. So they're saying that basically if you're carrying a melody, you're probably playing up on these higher strings more. If you're playing a rhythm, what they consider a rhythm chord, for example, this would be considered a rhythm chord. It's usually a chord in this book that starts on the 6th string and goes down to the 2nd string. Some combination of those lowest strings. They also have a group called bottom 4 strings. So for example, it's A minor, then you'd have a fingering like this would be, I'm just hitting 4 strings here. That would be a bottom 4 string chord. And then they've got what's called inside chord, which, for example, you could do this. And the inside chords are kind of like the name implies, you're leaving off the 6th and 1st string. So its chords are played on the middle strings. So that's 4 categories in the book, and every chord is then listed in those 4 different categories. So you can easily, if you need something on higher strings, go to the melody chords and find something. If you need something on lower strings, you can go to the lower strings and find something. So if you want inside, it's right there, and rhythm chords right there. So I think that categorization helps you quickly locate what you need at the moment without having to look through a ton of other stuff. And that's one of the reasons I like it. But like I talked about too, knowing what the lowest and highest notes from the chord is, even if you don't understand the formulas of like root, 3rd, 5th, 7th, stuff like that, you would know if it has the same lowest and highest note, it's going to have a similar sound to each other. But another thing that can help you with, like when you're improvising and stuff, because it does list the notes also for the chord, they're in the chord, you can then take a scale sheet that shows all the notes on the neck if you don't have them memorized, and you can find those notes in your scale, the same notes that are in the chord. You can also realize that, well, like on the A minor 7, like we did earlier, if I know that that's A, C, E, G, well then that's the notes of an A minor arpeggio, because notes of arpeggio are the same notes as the chord, just played one at a time. So by looking at any chord, you can know what the notes of the arpeggio are also. You can also know what notes are inside the chord when you're trying to create harmony, so that if you say, okay, I want to stop on the 3rd, or in flat 3rd if it's a minor, then you can find that C note and stop on that. Or you can say, well, I want to stop on the 5th, the E note. And that's a good exercise, especially if you don't know what those sound like, because if you get to know the sound of stopping on a root, or stopping on the flat 3rd or a 5th or the flat 7, that will be true of all the chords then. So you don't have to, if you just know the notes and say, okay, well, when I stop on the C over top of the A minor 7, it has this sound. But then when you go somewhere else, and let's say I'm on D, you maybe can think, well, it'd be in the same position, but if you're in a different octave or something, and not playing the same C note, you won't know what that necessarily sounds like in that new position. But if you know instead, think of this, well, this is the flat 3rd, well, every minor 7 or every minor chord has a flat third. So now you understand what a flat third sounds like over top of the chord. And you can apply it to any key. So if I'm in a completely different key, it doesn't matter. If I'm on the flat third, I know what that sounds like. If I'm on the root, I know what that sounds like. So by having those listed in the book, it's easier for you to reference and start kind of learning, okay, what will these notes sound like over top of the chords? So again, it's probably not the best one you'd have all by itself. But if you have another one that has every chord, just a dictionary one, this one will help you to apply it much more so. Having the notes, the chord formulas, and the breaking down of what section of the neck the chords are on. Anyways, hope you found this interesting, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching.